Welcome to the Here's My Story channel. I'm Molly. I was leaving home to go to school. I peeked into my parents' bedroom to say goodbye. I was surprised to see my dad wasn't at work. He was packing. My mom was in tears. "Are you going on a work trip, Dad?" I asked. My mom started sobbing. "No, honey. Your dad is leaving us for another woman." I was shocked. All I could say was, "Is that true, Dad?" My dad replied, staring at me directly. "Yes, it is. Like everyone else, I have only this one life, and I'm not going to waste it on you any longer. Do you have an objection to that?" "Dad, Mom quit her job because you wanted her to. She hasn't worked in years. If you leave, how are we going to pay our bills?" I said to him. He picked up his suitcase. As he left the bedroom, he replied, "Your bills used to be my problem. From now on, I have a new family. Deal with it." In an instant, our life had turned upside down. We didn't have a lot of job opportunities where we lived. My mom got some temp jobs where she made very little money, but it wasn't enough to pay the bills. Things got to a point where we couldn't pay the rent. Some nights, I would go to bed hungry because there was nothing to eat at home. The worst part was, I missed my dad, even though this was all his fault. One day, I caved in and called him, but he had changed his number. He obviously didn't want us to reach him. I missed him so much that I called him at his office. His assistant knew me and what had happened in our family. I asked her for my dad's new address. "Honey, please don't tell your father you got it from me," she said before giving it to me. My plan was simple. I was going to go to his house and ring his bell. When he opened the door, I would tell him I missed him very much. After all, I was his daughter. I knew that he would hug me when he saw me standing right there. After that, I thought I would keep seeing him from time to time. A girl around my age opened the door. I introduced myself and told her I wanted to see my dad. She called her mom instead of my dad and told her who I was. The woman got so mad. "Why are you bothering us? He's not your father anymore. You should be ashamed of yourself for coming here," she yelled. My dad must have heard the commotion, so he came to the door. When he saw me, he said, "Molly, what are you doing here? I bet you came to ask for money, but I won't give you a cent." This was too much. I started crying. "I don't want your money. I came here because I missed you so much," I said. My dad's stepdaughter laughed. "This is the stupidest lie I've ever heard. Only kids would believe that." "It's not a lie. I'm only here because I missed my dad. Dad, please, why won't you believe me?" I said. Grimacing, my dad replied, "I don't care why you came here." Then he turned to his stepdaughter. "I'm now the father of this smart girl. Do you know why I love Rose? Because she's the smartest person I've ever seen. She's going to be the valedictorian of her class. Then she'll go to medical school to become the most successful doctor in the country. And I'll be so proud to be her father." Rose gave my dad a hug, giggling. "Dad, do you know what my plan is? I'm going to be the valedictorian in med school as well. You're the only reason I can afford to go to that school. That's why you'll be the first person I will thank when I give my speech. I'll go, 'Dear Daddy, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be standing on this podium today. And you'll be the proudest dad in the ceremony,'" she said. The following days were pretty tough for me. Our financial woes continued, but I didn't care about them as much as I used to. My main issue was accepting that my dad didn't love me. Every night, I would dream of my dad and Rose. My dad would embrace her and say, "I am now the father of this smart girl." I would be sobbing when I woke up. I must have dreamed of this scene hundreds of times. That dream drained my love for my dad day by day, until one day, I was done. My paternal grandmother had been bedridden for a long time. We would go visit her every month. My mom always said, "I love my mother-in-law as much as I love my mother." Nothing changed for her after my father left us, of course. My grandmother lived in another state, and sometimes we wouldn't have money for the bus fare. We never missed a visit. We would hitchhike when we had no money. One morning, while my mom was in the shower, her phone rang. It was my grandmother's caretaker calling. I picked up, wondering about what had happened. After letting me know that my grandmother wasn't feeling well, she said, "The doctor was here this morning. Unfortunately, things are not looking good. Your grandma wants to see you and your mother as soon as possible to say her final goodbyes. She also said, 'Tell my son to come as well. Will you please let your father know?' I called but couldn't reach him because he seems to have changed his number." I didn't have my father's number either. I had to call his office. I told his assistant that I needed to talk to him, but she told me he had left months ago and gave me his number. I called him many times. He never picked up. I wrote to him about my grandmother's condition and that she was calling all of us to say goodbye. My father saw my text but never replied to that either. It looked like he had also dropped his own mother for his new family. We got the bad news while riding the bus to my grandmother's place. She had passed away. Both my mom and I cried the entire way. When we arrived, we started organizing the funeral. My mom said, "Let your father know. She was his mother. He has a right to know." I texted my father. What do you think was his response? "I know. Her lawyer told me. I will be there for the inheritance process. I don't want to see you or your mother. Leave immediately after the funeral." My grandmother wasn't wealthy, but she lived in a big house passed down to her from her family. This must have been what my dad meant when he mentioned inheritance. He wasn't coming to her funeral, but was already after her money. This was very typical of him. We were getting ready to leave after the funeral. My mom's phone rang. It was the lawyer. He asked us to come to his office the next day. We were surprised. Typically, as his son, my father was my grandmother's legal heir, so why had the lawyer invited us? Maybe this had nothing to do with inheritance. We extended our stay there one more night. The following day, my father was there with his new wife and stepdaughter. They looked at us like they were disgusted. "Why are you still here? Didn't I tell you to leave after the funeral?" my father yelled. The lawyer calmed him down by saying, "Please don't get upset. I invited them. They need to be here to read your mother's will." Dad looked at him incredulously. "The will? So my mom has a will. I'm her son. Shouldn't I be inheriting everything?" he asked. "If there had been no will, all of your mother's property would have been yours. But if there is a will in the picture, we do as the will says," the lawyer replied. When Rose said, "So what's on the will?" he took out an envelope from his folder. "I don't know. The will is inside this envelope. I will open it now, and we will all find out the contents," the lawyer replied. My father's wife and her daughter were waiting with bated breath. Then, a CD fell out of the envelope. This must be a video will," the lawyer mumbled, and inserted the CD into his laptop. My grandmother appeared on the screen in her hospital bed and spoke in a weary voice. "My dear granddaughter and daughter-in-law, greetings. And you, my not-so-dear son, let me guess. You weren't at my funeral, but you're here for the will, right? 'Cause I'm no longer there. You think the family house belongs to you, but you're wrong, because I already sold it and donated the proceeds to charity." My father was so shocked that he screamed, "What is this woman talking about? That house is my birthright! It is my house! No one can take it away from me!" The lawyer shushed him. My grandmother continued to speak. "My dear granddaughter Molly, I'm leaving you all my savings in the amount of $300,000. Son, I'm leaving you $1. The lawyer has the money. He will present it to you shortly. My dear daughter-in-law and my dear granddaughter, I've always loved you. If there's life after death, I will always love you from there as well, because you deserve it more than anything." The lawyer offered a $1 bill to my father, saying, "Sir, here's your inheritance according to your mom's wishes." He was trying hard not to laugh. My father, his wife, and his stepdaughter were stunned to speak. Rose broke the silence. She turned to my dad. "So, how are you going to send me to medical school now? You were planning to pay for my school by selling this family house. I made a mistake by trusting you," and started crying. "You shattered my girl's dreams. We are broke because you were laid off. My mother's too old. She's going to die soon. After we sell off her house, we can send Rose to medical school and live comfortably off that money, you said. You lied to us," his wife said before turning to her daughter. "Honey, we're leaving. I'm not going to stay with this liar one more second. He's been stalling us for months. All this for nothing," she said as she walked to the door. Rose followed her. My father just stood there, looking helpless. His eyes were on the ground, full of shame. He lifted them up slowly to look at us. "I'm sorry to have left you for these opportunistic people. Please forgive me," he muttered. My mom was simply looking ahead, too angry to speak. I jumped in. "It's not possible for us to forgive you. How dare you ask for such a thing from us? You should be ashamed. You really are an awful, awful father," I screamed. We never saw my father after that. He called my mom a few times, but she didn't pick up the phone. He texted her and said he wanted to come back home, so she did the best thing she could do and blocked him. He actually deserved it a long time ago.